The new Samsung Galaxy S7 has pretty much every feature you'd expect from a flagship smartphone in 2016. Faster processor? Check. Stunning screen? Check. New camera? Check. What it doesn't have is a whiz-bang feature you've never seen before. And without one, is the Galaxy S7 worth its price tag? In the interest of science, I decided to get a little experimental here at the California Academy of Sciences, the perfect venue to torture a phone in all the ways we do in our everyday lives. So what did I find at San Francisco's celebrated Natural History Museum? The Galaxy S7 tackles many of the things that make phones annoying, costly, and likely to break. It's clear Samsung was brutal in its self-assessment of past designs. Gone is the plasticky feel and the cluttered software of earlier Galaxy phones. The S7 comes in large and extra large sizes, 5.1 inches and a 5.5-inch Edge edition with a screen that curves down at the side. Both squeeze more stunning screen into less space by rounding the edges. The last thing you want on a day of exploring is to run out of space for pictures and apps. Many phone makers commit highway robbery by charging for built-in storage, but the Galaxy S7 lets you add your own for much, much less. Apple and Android phones alike now claim they can replace your wallet. But the Galaxy S7 comes much closer to living up to that with Samsung Pay, which works even at old-timey card swipe machines using a magnetic technology. And then there's the #1 predator for smartphones in the wild, water. The Galaxy S7 can survive a dive into a pool or toilet for up to half an hour. I even got some great video from inside this tide pool. But you still can't take your phone scuba diving. It's only water resistant up to 5 feet. The toughest test is the camera. And here in the dark is where the Galaxy S7 really stands out, beating the iPhone 6s Plus in every shot. The S7's back camera has a 12-megapixel sensor that's technically lower resolution than the Galaxy S6, but it's a worthy trade-off because each pixel can now capture 95% more light. Photos and video have a much more pleasing dynamic range, pulling out details in places the iPhone just left dark without blowing out the highlights. None of this matters, of course, if your phone's battery can't make it through the day. The battery on the Galaxy S7 lasted 40 minutes longer than last year's S6 in my stress tests. It still has some room for improvement versus the iPhone, but its always-on display can show the time, alerts, or a calendar without powering up the whole screen. What the Galaxy S7 won't do is surprise you. That underwater trick? Samsung's just bringing back a feature from 2 years ago. You will get an impressive Gear VR headset free when you buy the Galaxy S7, but the phone itself doesn't point towards the future with fresh features like the iPhone's pressure-sensitive screen or LG's multi-lens camera. You can't even expect to get fresh updates of Android on the Galaxy S7 since Samsung takes its sweet time releasing its modified version of the OS. Still, there's nothing wrong with giving us what we already know we want. The Galaxy S7 is the best smartphone designed for surviving the wilds of today.